me. Please, if you see this video, please help me. Okay, now that I'm done being a cheesy horror movie director type, I will actually, you know, do my job. Yeah. Heyo guys, KillaKae here, bringing you this Inner Demons Coming Out Your Face tutorial. Now, a couple side notes. I do look back on this and wish I had done it a little differently, but considering the fact this is the first time I've done this look, keep in mind most of my videos I've done those looks like 5 times each before even going on camera with them. I'm pretty happy how it came out, and you should be too. Just want to preface that. If you ever watch a YouTube like makeup tutorial and yours doesn't come out as good as theirs right away, don't sweat it. I'm gonna let VoiceOver K do most of the work for this one because she's got a little more together than I do. But basically, these fingers took some prep work, which I will show you in a second, and there's a couple alternatives here to doing the little skin flaps. You can either use cotton balls or you can use liquid latex, which I will also show you how in the next part. If you want to know how to use cotton balls, you can go and check out my ripped face tutorial, which I will link in the description below, and that shows you how to use cotton ball alternative to the latex part. Yeah, that should be pretty much it. I will walk you through what you need for this look, and we'll begin the tutorial. Now you're going to want to start off with a bowl and some liquid latex. Pour the latex into the bowl if you couldn't get that far without me. And then you're going to take your finger, a little applicator of any sorts, and you're going to start lightly putting latex all over your said finger. Now this finger is going to be the model for the fingers you choose to make. Well, you could use different fingers for each finger if you want, but I just stuck with the one. So yeah, evenly coat it. And then you're going to sit and let that dry a bit before adding another coat of latex after that. You definitely want to do like 2 or 3 coats of latex until it's nice and solid, but not too solid, if you get what I'm saying. And then once it's all dry, you're going to take some baby powder, you're going to take it on a big old fluffy brush, and you're going to set it. But make sure your liquid latex is dry, because if it's wet at all, or if it looks white like that, be very careful, because you will ruin your brush. I see you, Spot. Get out of here. Nasty little Spot. Not ruining my brush. Anyway, once your finger is all dry and perfect and powdered down, start picking at the edges. You're going to slowly start to peel it up. Don't just grab one part and yank. Work around the finger. That way you don't end up ripping it. And as you go, make sure to powder along, because that will make sure it doesn't stick to itself and ruin the whole finger after 20 minutes of you trying to make a carbon copy replica of your hand. So yep, just pull it along, and I know some of y'all with your dirty minds are going to want to make jokes about this. It's just a finger. It looks like an elephant trunk. Don't ruin this for people, okay? Okay. So yeah, there, boom, finger copy. Please ignore my nasty looking nails too. Ugh, I need to get them done. And there you have it. You have your latex finger. Well, the first of many anyway. I chose to fill mine up with cotton. If you have ideas for anything else, feel free to do it, and let me know in the comments below, because I'm really curious to see what else someone might put in here, because you could do a ton of cool effects with a ton of different things, I bet. Anyway, I found that there's a happy medium amount of cotton you want, because if you put in too much, the finger's really fat and it bends not naturally when you try to bend it, and if you don't put enough in, it creases in a lot of weird spots. So make a bunch of fingers, make them different sizes and everything, test them out, have fun with them. I didn't paint mine on camera because I figured you guys could do it without me, but just know I used alcohol-based paints, and then I applied some black acrylic nails, and that was it. Now let's get on to the latex strips we're going to use in lieu of cotton. I went ahead and put latex right onto my desk because this is my makeup desk, so I don't care, and even then latex usually doesn't do any damage to any table I've ever put it on, but to be safe, you can use some wax paper underneath. Anyway, I made a bunch of strips, making sure one side of each strip was super thin so it'd be a lot easier to blend it into the sides of my face. Looking back, I wish I had done more than one layer of latex on each strip. I don't know why I didn't, I think it just slipped my mind, but nonetheless, more than one layer will make them much sturdier and they'll give you a much better hold when pulling them off, and they're less likely to rip and whatnot. As usual, take powder them down so they don't stick to themselves, and then you can start working up the edges of one of them. Start working the edges up and pull slowly. There's no need to rush this because you're likely to rip it, especially if they're as thin as I made them. Remember to powder as you do it, because the second it sticks to itself, this is so thin and so small, it's just, you're just gonna have to make a new one, it'll be ruined. And boom, there you have a little skin strip. You can color it if you want, or you can wait till it's on your face. Now I'm going to take some Vaseline and put it on my eyebrows because I'm going to be working with latex very close to them. And then I'm going to wonder why I changed my camera angle, because it was really good before, and I'm going to wonder why my backdrop isn't covering the whole background, because I'm a doof. Anyway, take a pencil and mark out where you're going to want this rip in your face to be, and you can try measuring out where these fingers are going to be, but I had 8 of them. It was kind of difficult to put them all on at once. You feel? You feel. Now take latex around the edges of the cut you pre-drew on. As usual, and I know I say it a lot, but I'm going to keep saying it, just avoid your eyebrows and hairline. Now take your cotton or your latex, whichever you decided to use, and stick it on. Then you're just going to take some liquid latex to try and blend the edges down a bit. You're going to go over this a couple more times, so don't worry if it doesn't look that great the first time. After you finish this step, I would suggest putting on all your makeup and everything. I forgot, and then I put on 2 fingers, and then I tried putting foundation and all my makeup and whatnot on, and as you can imagine, with 2 fingers sprouting out of your head, putting foundation on is a little difficult. Anyway, once your latex is all dry and you've blended your edges down, throw some baby powder on that stuff, and then pull the chunky parts off your nose, because no one wants a chunky nose. Or maybe you do. That's up to you. That's a life choice. I'm just going to bend the edges back and go in with a red body paint. Remember guys, you don't have to do some bloody hands coming out of your head. You could do like shark fins and do mermaid scales underneath, or some alien stuff, anything you want. Whatever you do, take a dark color and go around the edges so you get that shadowy effect. And since I'm doing blood, I'm also going to take a red face paint and go on and do the insides of the skin flaps. You're going to have a hard time seeing any of this anyway once all the fingers are there. At least you're gonna if you have a bunch of fingers like I do. So don't worry too much if it doesn't come out exactly how you want, because it's going to have a lot of stuff layered over it afterwards. Like I said earlier, trying to figure out where you want 8 fingers on your face at once is really hard positioning wise, so I decided to just kind of wing it and start sticking them on. As you can see, I just took liquid latex, slathered some on the bottom of the finger, slathered it around the edges, took a brush, tried to work it in there and press down the edges. Feel free to cut some of the skin off the fingers end. It'll make things a little easier probably. And then I took some liquid latex and put it right on my face, right there, on the forehead, so the finger could stick down, so A, it has a better hold, and it looks more like the fingers are coming around and gripping the sides of my face as they rip it open. Don't worry if the edges don't look like they're really down and coming out of your forehead yet, because we're going to take some cotton and latex and go around not only the edge of that finger, but the whole area in general, because I realized halfway through doing this that putting down a cotton and latex base would make it a lot easier for the other fingers to stick on, and it'll give a nice base to put the fake blood on, so we're not just completely filling this all with fake blood, you know what I'm saying? See how much easier that finger went on compared to the other one? You can shake your head and it doesn't come off. Now, take a break to eat Chinese food. That's straight out of the microwave. So healthy. And do your pretty makeup while you're here, because doing pretty makeup with a lot of fingers on your face is hard. As you can see, I finally did the beauty makeup. And now I'm going to take some black and red paint and go in between the sets of fingers to try and differentiate what's a hand from another hand. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make a clear divide between the two. And also, if they're coming out of your head, they're going to get a little messy, so feel free to make it a messy paint job. But I added some fake blood later to make it a little more messy instead of the paint, so don't worry if you don't. Now look at the camera with a really weird face. I don't know why. Just do it. And if there's no camera, just look around with a really weird face. Now take a blood of your choosing. I recommend something thick, like thick blood, scab blood, or what I used, blood paste. I actually went to use my own homemade blood at this point, but then I smelt it, and it smelled a little weird, and I didn't remember what I put in it, and I didn't know if something spoiled, so I just went with the Graftobian blood paste. I focused most of it in between the two hands. Like I said, you really want to get that nice divide in, or maybe you don't. Maybe you want a bunch of little fingers looking like they're swarming around at random. Completely up to you. But then I did make sure to go in between some of the fingies, fingies, and to slather some blood all around them. And don't forget the nails, because those are the things that we're digging out of your head. I realized afterward a fun touch to add to this might be to take some gelatin and like add a light pink coloring to it and like just sprinkle it on here, because it would totally look like bits of brain were just pulled through as these hands clawed their way out. Totally fun. If I redo this look, I will definitely be adding that in. And then I started haphazardly spreading blood all over my face because I just got excited with the blood in my hand, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta use it. And I didn't think about what the splatter patterns would look like when hands are ripping out of your head from the inside, so forgive me. I realized that it was a mess, and then I took that old little brush and flick technique with some red and black face paint to create even more splatters to try and make my bad mess look like a good mess, you know what I'm saying? Once the video was over, I actually went and added even more blood, which you can probably see in the pictures I took of this, and it looked a little better, but still, definitely pay attention to what your blood is looking like as you're putting it on your face, because if it's in a weird pattern or like a splotch instead of like a spray, it can break the illusion. Sometimes. You never know. Depends. And once you're done with the blood, you're done with it all, and you got hands coming out of your head, and you can make all the puns you want. I'm feeling handsy today. Hey there, you need a hand? Trust me, this is a great way to pick someone up. You got a crush? Walk up to them like this, and I promise you guys will be dating. Or a restraining order. One or the other. Anyway, hope you had fun, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you don't have dark caterpillar eyebrows like I do, if you wiggle them a little bit and no one can tell your big, huge eyebrows are moving, the hands are just moving on their own, and it's pretty cool. Anyway, hope you had fun. Thank you so much. I already said all that, but I'm gonna say it again anyway. Now, here's some bloopers of me goofing off as per usual. Remember, always remove things safely. This is pleasant. Honestly, if you have isopropyl murostate, this is the best time to use it. That's totally in my eyebrow, isn't it? Oh god. Ah! I screwed it up again!
Where's the toilet? There's no water in the tank. Okay, can't I just, like, pour some of this into the fucking thing?
Oh god, this is a dangerous game. Oh no. Please, please, please. Oh, okay, we're good, I think. Okay. Is this all gonna come off in one go? Eh. Please don't be attached to my— oh, that was in my hairline. Ow. Okay, it wasn't in my hairline, there's just a little bit. Okay, this looks just— this looks deformed and disgusting. Wow, this is like—
I need to figure this shit out. What the hell am I doing? Where am I going? I figured it out.
this is foul. I love it. This is like a finger spider. Oh my god, what if this came crawling at you in the middle? Ugh. I should make a horror movie out of that. Finger spiders coming for you. Is it gonna come off? Nope. Yay. I forgot an actual outro, so bye!